konnte mir so viel drücken. Stell das Profil privat, bitte. Hatte man die unten zweite Sequenz.
Guten Abend, meine Freunde. My name is Mitch, and with me, of course, is Rob, and we're ready to jump on into the Overwatch Grand Finals here at Fantasy Basel. And this is certainly set to be a very interesting series.
I cannot wait for this series. Silent Gaming versus March Marmots. And I mean, Silent Gaming, we've been talking about this a lot before we got on here. Silent Gaming have been on a bit of a streak for the last couple of years, and now March Marmots have managed to kick them down into that lower bracket, so we're getting a repeat of that upper bracket final, and I cannot wait to see how this is going to play out.
Absolutely, but we do have to wait, unfortunately, because before we do that, we've got to throw over to a beautiful man waiting on the stage. We've got Rito for you.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Rob. Wunderschönen guten Morgen, Fantasy Basel. Es schneit, glaube ich, nicht mehr draussen, aber hey, der nächste Event sollte sowieso keiner von euch kalt lassen, sonst würdet ihr nicht da hocken. Wir haben nämlich eines der heißesten erwarteten Rematches in der Schweizer Overwatch-Geschichte. Es geht um ein Rematch zwischen Silent Gaming und den March Marmots. Sie sind in den Semifinals von der Swiss Gaming Challenge schon mal aufeinander getroffen. Dort haben die March Marmots gewonnen und ja, jetzt wollen wir heute wissen, ist das ein Flug gewesen, oder sind sie wirklich das bessere Team in der Schweiz? Aber hey, am besten würde ich das gerne von den beiden Team-Captains wissen. Darum würde ich jetzt ganz schnell auf die Stage bitten. Für die March Marmots bitte schön den Cookie und für Silent Gaming darf der Mimik schnell vorkommen. Morgen. So, guten Morgen Jungs, ich fange sonst gerade schnell mit dir an, Cookie. Ihr habt Silent im Semifinal geschlagen. Ich glaube, das motiviert schon ein bisschen. Was macht ihr jetzt heute, um zu zeigen, ja, das ist kein Flug, wir können sie nochmal schlagen?
Wir haben auf jeden Fall die Strategie nochmal gefestigt, alles einmal durchgegangen und sind gut vorbereitet für das Finale.
Ich glaube, ein paar von euch haben schon mal auf der Stage gespielt. Für dich persönlich ist es das erste Mal?
Ja, für ein paar noch neu. Wir haben auch ein paar, die das erste Mal an einer LAN oder an einer Stage spielen. Und darum ist es auch eine Herausforderung für alle. Aber ich denke, wir können es packen.
Ich glaube, ja, auf so einem Level, wo ihr spielt, ist das, sollte ein sekundäres Problem sein, aber man weiß nie. Aber auf jeden Fall alles Gute. Was ist deine Prediction fürs Final und möchtest du vielleicht noch irgendetwas zu Silent sagen?
Prediction, ich hoffe, dass wir gewinnen. Wie genau, weiß ich nicht. Wir haben einen Punkt Vorsprung. Aber mal schauen. Und der Silent, viel Glück und möchte besser gewinnen.
Nice. So, Mimi, dich habe ich schon ein paar Mal da gehabt. Ich glaube, für uns sollte Sage nicht mehr so eine grosse Rolle spielen, oder?
Genau, ja.
Gut, was macht Silent Gaming, um zu zeigen, dass die Niederlage im Semifinal nicht zählt hat und dass Silent Gaming heute gewinnt? Was macht ihr?
Ja, wir haben auch ein bisschen geschaut, was sie so gespielt haben im Qualifier und haben uns ziemlich gut vorbereitet auf das mit ein paar Countercoms.
Oh, okay, gut, da freuen wir uns drauf. Was ist in dem Fall deine Prediction und möchtest du noch irgendetwas zu den March Marmots sagen?
Meine Prediction ist 3-1 für uns und wie er auch gesagt hat, viel Glück und möchte besser gewinnen.
Vielen Dank, Jungs. Ihr dürft zurück am Platz. Dankeschön. Euch beiden viel Spaß und viel Glück ebenfalls von meiner Seite. Danke vielmals. Gut, dann wünsche ich euch ganz viel Spaß mit dem Final. Denkt daran, March Marmots fangen, wie schon gesagt, mit einem Punkt Vorsprung an. Aber ja, ich glaube, da haben wir ein spannendes Match vor uns. Ich wünsche euch sehr viel Spaß und lasst euch wieder mit euren beiden Caster, der Mitch und der Rob. Vielen Dank.
Thank you very much, Rito. And as we move on into this, March Marmots and Silent Gaming is a bit of a historic game of sorts.
Yeah.
This will be huge for March Marmots to win to cement themselves as the victors for this tournament. And they come in with a 1-0 lead, which obviously comes with it gives a little bit of an advantage alongside it.
Oh, of course. And I mean, it's incredible to see as well that they have managed to knock them down. But now we got to see, is it a flash in the pan, or is this something that March Marmots are capable of taking the full way? This is a best of 5. As you said, they get that one match-up advantage. So we won't be starting off with control. Instead, we will be starting off with one of those escort maps. We will still have to see what they decide to choose. But I think it's going to be a very close series. I think Silent Gaming obviously have looked incredible coming off the back of several wins. Even at Polyland, they looked absolutely unstoppable. But March Marmots now coming in, we do have 12 who's stepping in for Niv over on that side. But still, this is not a team that you can try and just brush aside. These guys have got their own strats, have got their own style of game. And it will be very interesting to see if they can now take it that step further and take Silent Gaming off of their pedestal.
Exactly like you said, got to prove it wasn't just a once-off. And to start it off, though, Silent Gaming are going to get choice of maps. Like you said, we're starting off on Escort, after that Hybrid, then Assault and Control. If needed, first to 3 obviously wins. It's a standard best of 5. But Silent get to choose where we start things off on Escort, and from there on, it's the loser of each map gets to choose the map for the next set. So at least you gain something from losing.
Yeah, exactly. You get to try and figure out if you can get something over on your opponents when it comes to at least the maps. And I think that's going to be a tough call for either side. I mean, Silent Gaming have shown that they're incredibly strong on several different maps. You've got the same on the opposite side when it comes to March Marmots. So it's going to be kind of tough to see, okay, cool, can we actually figure out something here where we can win one over when it comes to that map pool?
Yeah, and what's worth mentioning, obviously, with Silent Gaming being the Overwatch World Cup team, essentially, for Switzerland. But then over on the March Marmot side, you've got the general manager of the Swiss Overwatch World Cup team. So he's familiar with at least 4 of these players and how they play in general, plus the fact that the whole team of March Marmots is going to be pretty familiar with Sir Gibson, as he used to play with them. So there's a lot of kind of knowledge there across the board.
Yeah, it's actually kind of strange to see Sharper on stage. Usually we see him, backstage, kind of keeping the team up and running, but now we get to see exactly what his Overwatch skills are like in front of a keyboard. So that'll be very cool to see. And I think Sir Gibson as well, for a little bit of time, was a kind of an underrated player, but now has definitely been stepping into his own, looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to be jumping into the game pretty soon as well, which is going to be, I'm really excited to see this. I mean, we're starting out on Escort, like we said. Silent Gaming have at least a home advantage in the sense that they're going to be picking the map, and of course we're starting it out in just a couple of seconds. Players are picking their compositions as we go. 30 seconds. So what you see here from the defensive side is going to be the composition that they stick with. The offensive, though, generally tend to switch last second. We've seen that before.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what they bring out. Obviously, going with the Torbjorn here is a little bit interesting, but when we're playing on Gibraltar like this, the big thing you want to keep your eyes on is that blue box up on top here. Both these teams will be trying to grapple with each other to get control of that area. Such a key point on this map. If you get control up there, you can start throwing down a couple of shots onto the defending players below. It makes it a lot easier to try and pick up that first point.
Not holding from the high ground to start things off. Silent Gaming going to take the fight through the underpass, giving a little bit of ground to March Marmots, but they're going to pick their fights. They don't want to get too aggressive and lose ground, as obviously once you lose, if you completely lose a team fight, it's going to be pretty harmful to you as well. I suppose a little bit of time running down where March Marmots don't really know what they're going to be up against, the full composition of the enemy team.
Yeah, and you can see the difference is the second they see that they've gone for this bunker style of composition, they swap over, getting Cookie onto that far. You got Jaden swapping over towards the Hanzo as well to see if they can try and get through, but that's already a pick from 12.
They're taking down the turret there. It's going to be a little bit of hassle from the back lines as well. 12 not really being contested at the moment. Jaden shouldn't be taking too much damage there. The heals will be good to keep him back up.
And you can see why this blue box here is so important. Look at the control that's given to March Marmots here when they're able to get up here. Raining down the shots, it makes it very difficult for this bunker to try and keep control. That shield takes a huge amount of damage, and that means Exotics can start to step forward here.
He was discorded there, though. Exotics doesn't really want to stick around too long. The heals don't really last. With that orb on you, Jaden going to be spotting them out there. Now looking for some shots over the shield, not yet connecting them. 12 again going to be just dealing with that turret, making sure that it's not causing too much hassle, because the turret behind the shields can be a real pain. Sir Gibson in a little bit of trouble, caught out in the open, and this could be the pick. Overloads and takes down Kiam, though, with the assistance of Remix, and at least one pick to go their way.
Yeah, it came in a little bit of an odd situation there. Not sure what they were doing in the back line, but will get caught out now. You can see that they're going to have to take a step back from March Marmots. Wait for that respawn to come through. 12 does have that EMP available, but we're waiting until Cookie has that barrage available to try and break this defense open.
Yeah, it was an odd enough push. Again, 12 going to be looking to take that turret out. Biding his time, just waiting, chilling out with the EMP ready to roll. Once they are about to take that shield down, he can pop it and make sure they don't get another shield up.
Exotics getting picked there is going to be really, really tough for them. We'll get the revive though, and here we go. 12 trying to move into position for the EMP. Barrage is available.
And here we go, one pick already on the board and looking for more chasing down. This could be a little bit awkward with 2 already in favor. The turret's gone as well, the support isn't there. Already popping the Transcendence, so there's barely any heals for Silent Gaming at this point. Things are not looking good. Self-healing though, they're going to be able to at least take down Exotics, and 12's already out of the mix. Going in there with the Zenyatta, eventually followed through by Sir Gibson. Just charging on up there, Molten Core, and finishing off 2. That's it, they're going to gain a little bit of ground and should even find themselves pushing that back a little bit.
Yeah, that was an incredible turnaround from Silent Gaming. We were just saying how important and how crucial that EMP into barrage play was going to be, but unfortunately the damage was not able to come out, and now you can see Cookie swapping over. We're going back to the good old goats. It will be the Winston for Exotics, who does have that primal available.
But the ultimate economy doesn't look too good for March Marmots at this point. Burning up so many in the previous fight puts them in an awkward spot. Sir Gibson comes in with the opening. Tankio takes it. Jaden D-Mex We're going to look to do a little bit more damage, and this is just not too good at all. But Mimi already popping her ult as well. Silent Gaming have so much damage right now, trapping them in with the ice wall and finishing them off. And that allows, you got Scorpion, Lux, and Tankyo all with their ults. Remix about to pop as well. March Marmots are behind, not just in ultimate economy, but in time. 45 seconds left, and the last fight sees them with a massive deficit.
And they've got to try and fight through Lux's Blizzard as well. When you're Goats, you want to be able to try and gain that ground very, very quickly, but the Blizzard going to slow them up. This is going to be looking like dire straits for March Marmots. One more push on the cards. Can they try and break this?
Yeah, well, they're delaying a little bit. Eventually going to be popping Kiam and Exotics. Should be going. There we go. Primal Rage. A couple of picks still going the way of Silent Gaming, though. This is one last chance for March Marmots. They've made barely any ground, but the picks are going the way of that blue side. Silent Gaming walking away with this, perhaps, as Exotics loses the Primal Rage, and jumping inside that Molten Core isn't going to help all too much.
Yeah, that is such a terrible situation for you to be in, trying to go through the Blizzard and the Molten Core. It's slow up, taken down, health is being depleted faster than you can even try and look at it. Now Mimi once more set up behind this wall of cover, means that there's not really much that March Marmots can do. They are using cover behind the payload at the moment.
Yeah, well, at least managing to group up a little bit. They were staggering, and they staggered for long enough. 12 was able to keep popping those bubbles and keep himself alive. One last fight, one last chance here in the overtime. Zarya pops in the Graviton Surge to try and get a little bit of damage and group them up, but those shields just keep on working for them. It's only really Winston to work around them. 12 takes down Lux, though. At least a little bit of damage and slowing taken out of the play, but Tankyo and Mimi, it's going to be a little bit awkward with Cookie up behind. Hasn't really been spotted just yet, walking around their uncontested.
Yeah, but the Coalescence in the backline is putting in work, keeping them nice and topped up. You can see that even though that Graviton Surge went down, there was no follow-up damage, but now they're starting to push forward. Cookie in the front line, trying to see if they can get a bash onto the tank. Barrier has been dropped.
Indeed it has, just getting up behind those shields now, trying to get the picks. They don't really care about giving them an extra little bit of ground. All they have to do is stop them from getting that checkpoint and win one team fight. It's so close. Orion comes out, get a little bit of extra shields over there for the attacking side of March Marmots. A Blizzard in, though. This could be very dangerous. They're all caught in it. 2 kills come in. Exotics and Cookie are down. This is very bad. We've got heals and tanks being removed. Oh, we got one try there from the D.Va, but it's not going to hit anything. The shields, again, just constantly being popped. At least now they won't be able to protect themselves for just a couple seconds. Mimi will be back up in just a minute, and that Mei is doing so much damage.
Shields, walls, and barriers, oh my, means that there's no way for them to try and get in here. If the self-destruct does nothing, Tankyo's got the whole hog ripping through the health bars, and look at the kill feed.
You have a Tracer coming in here to try and delay, but it's just not in time. She has to recall as she takes too much damage. And then the overtime had been running for so long, it depletes so quickly.
But you can see the difference. The second that those crucial ultimates come up on the side of Silent Gaming, the Blizzards, the Molten Cores, means that it's incredibly difficult for something like Ghost to try and push through there, especially when you're going for the Reinhardt variant. You don't even have Exotics on that Winston to try and disrupt the backline as you push forward.
This is not too good for March Marmots now. Coming in with a 1 series advantage at least. Means that they have something to fall back on if they lose this, but then they go into even ground against the team that is the favorite for the tournament, that is the favorite in this matchup 10 times out of 9. You know, they're a strong team. Not even 9 out of 10. Like, they played so much against these guys, and Silent have always prevailed. One time in a BO3, they managed to beat, March Marmots managed to beat Silent Gaming. That one time. And this is their chance to prove that it's not a once-off. They have a best of 5, which is effectively for them a best of 3 with a bit of extra cover, because they only have to win 2 with a 1-0 advantage.
And that's the thing, like Silent Gaming have lost so little in the last little while. I mean, I think the other guys that they lost to were Swiss Inc. Rebels. I mean, other than that, you haven't got too much that's really been working for them so far.
Well, we're going to look at things being swapped over here. 73.86 meters, not even the first checkpoint reached by March Marmots. And with that in play, this defense has to be next to flawless.
Yeah, when I want to see where March Marmots set up, but the style that they're going for here, they do have the Immortality field coming out from Baptiste, works incredibly well when you do have that Bastion set up alongside the Orisa. So taking this high ground, making sure that they can try and get them nice and early before they can try and get too much ground.
Well, it's about keeping the high ground here, really, and if Silent do go for somewhat of a dive, because they're still switching up, the attacking side always changes up. You're going to send someone out to scout a little bit. And there you go. They're not feeling good. And this is really good, the fact that they've changed.
So this is what we've seen from Silent Gaming before, particularly when you only need to get 1 tick on the point. They go towards this cyber dive style. You look for that EMP, you go for the nano blade, and you just rip through everyone once it comes through. So you'd be looking to see Silent Gaming just start to farm up these ultimates. They don't want to put on too much pressure, because they know once they get those 3 ultimates available, it's a win easy button for you.
A 12 got hit by everyone there. Almost got demeched before a fight really came in, just on the retreat. The shield now set up. We're going to look to Bastion to do all the damage. And again, this Cyberblade is just going to be so effective against the Bastion. That's one of the main problems for them right now. Hanzo is hitting shots. 12 is consistently in needs of healing, but so far hasn't been too scary.
Yeah, you can see now 12 backing away, has to concede up on that high ground, and this is really not where you want to be. If you can give this poke-style composition some bit of ground where now they can start to farm up these ultimates, it's going to work out incredibly well for them. And you're grouping everyone in this little room. EMP is going to work wonders in that situation, and it's going to be brilliant for the side of the game.
Oh no, EMP already down and everybody's fallen. 12 is about to be demegged. Keem pops the...
Yeah.
No, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't. It's so quickly done. As soon as the EMP went down, they found all the kills. And exactly like you said, being in such a small room against that Cyberdive composition, you're never going to win that fight.
No, and I thought they'd at least wait for the rest of the ultimates, but they're like, nah, do you know what? We got this. We can take this here, and you can see the results right there. And this is the thing. Once you start to give up that space on top there, it makes it so easy. And I mean, we've seen Mimi on this wrecking ball before, and wrecking is exactly what they do.
Good lord, just lines them all up. The damage, although no kills went through, the damage was tangible from absolutely everybody there, and that is a very swift end to the escort set of this series, tying it up on 1-1. As we move over to hybrid, it will be March Marmots that get the choice.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do decide to go for. I mean, I think obviously the most popular ones are the likes of your King's Row and that kind of stuff. We'll have to see if they decide to go towards that, but it wasn't exactly looking great from the side of March Marmots. Even when they swapped over towards something like the Goats, you see a little bit of a disjointed play. Ultimates were being thrown out, but not a huge amount of follow-up damage, or even the rest of the team there. It was more kind of like, toss it out, hope for the best, we'll see how it goes. So just clean it up, take it a little bit smoother, and see then if you can try and approach into Silent Gaming's quarters.
Yeah, it's fair to say that they lost the ultimate economy just from the start, and being staggered like that, then on the defensive side, they were countered perfectly. I mean, we didn't see a whole lot there, really.
Well, the thing was, they had that for the initial push, that EMP into the barrage combo, and I thought, okay, cool, this is going to be great, but unfortunately, they couldn't get the damage off in the barrage. You were just a little bit too low. Roadhog looks up and goes, boom, thank you, I'll take a birdie for my dinner. And then once the fire is out of the picture, you've got so much more damage that is going to come out from the opposite side, especially once that EMP starts to fade. They just couldn't get the burst damage through, and then once the swap starts to come in as well, you just reset that whole ult economy as you were talking about, and it means that you haven't really got anything that you can test with, and particularly Goats trying to push in through Blizzard and Molten Core, that's never going to end well.
Absolutely, and that was the thing, right? Just it was the slowing towards the end of it. The fact that in the late game, the composition that Silent Gaming went for and their defense works really well. Once that time is low, because they have the Blizzard, they have the Molten Core, they can just take up so much space that you just cannot walk near. And the fact that you have to just sit back and wait, fall back from the offensive you've been trying to make, they can regain a little bit of ground. As soon as a fight looks scary, they have an out. They have multiple outs. And you coming in there with one ultimate, I think that was ready to go, not really going to look so good.
Yeah, you can see that like they have these ultimates that can try and turn around fights, but the execution is just slightly off. It's just it's the Graviton Surge going out, and the team isn't quite ready for it. They've got the barrage that goes in, but you're slightly too close over towards that Roadhog. It's a lot of little things like that that Silent Gaming are just capitalizing on. Now we got to see as we start to move in towards our our hybrid map, if they're going to be able to fix up and shore up some of these issues.
I'm curious to see what they decide to pull out on hybrid. This can be, I mean, Escort in general was our curiosity for an overtime to come through, and indeed maybe even a tie. It was a potential. It tends to be the closest of maps, because most teams going to make it to the end, but didn't even make the first checkpoint. So as we look at this hybrid, at the moment, it looks like Silent Gaming are on form. Maybe they felt a little bit more comfortable in Gibraltar. I don't think it's really fair to say it was down to the maps, though. A couple slip-ups from March Marmots. They have the chance now to recover. 1-1, their advantage from coming through the upper bracket is now gone. And I think that just all in all, with Silent gaining a little bit of momentum, they're going to be in super high spirits because they know coming into this they're the favorites, and they can easily now say, yeah, it was just a slip up, we've got this, 3-1, let's go.
And I think that's the thing, is that you got to look at it now. It resets the series essentially. We're playing a best of three, and now you've got to go, okay, cool, how do we try and close this one out now? How quickly can we do it? But of course, March Marmots now do have their pick of the map, so they can start to move towards something they're a bit more comfortable on, something that they might have a strategy for, something funky that they want to run. This is the moment where you try to bring it out. It's the grand finals. You've everything to play for, that line share of that 800 franc. This is exactly the moment when you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where you pull out all the stops and the secrets start to appear. Hopefully this is going to be a completely different March Marmots from what we just saw on the first map coming through. Do you believe You believe they can come back after that
definitely
first
do.
performance?
I definitely do. I mean, look, it's early morning here. You get to sleep, you wipe it out of your eyes, you go, okay, cool. Do you know what, guys? We reset here. A little bit of a, whatever. It doesn't matter. Map is done. Just look towards the next 3. This is really where you got to go, okay, no, we're going to take it. We've got this. Just take it easy. We can come back from this.
Okay, well, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Moving on to hybrid. The style, I suppose, is going to be more or less the same, right? Maybe we're going to have less. So one of the things was I felt like March Marmots gave up the high ground super early. Didn't try to fight it. But the problem was, once they saw Silent coming forward, the composition that Silent were trying to go for with the shields up and no Bastion obviously sit on the point, that would have been terrible. They would have gotten torn apart. But they go forward, they spot with the Orisa, they go, oh, I don't want anything to do with this. Bail on backwards. Change out to more of a dive comp where they can get in close and really do the damage. And from that point forward, it was, I mean, you just can't really expect anything to happen.
Yeah. I mean, what are you supposed to do in that situation? If you're going to get pressured that early and get pressured out, but I mean, to be fair, we saw the same on the opposite side. Silent Gaming didn't even try to take control of that high ground. They're just like, no, we're cool with the bunker comp in the back. This is going to work fine. And it's something that we've seen from them a lot come out when they're on those defensive points, whether it be control or assault, whatever it might be. They just put themselves up. They plonk Sir Gibson onto that bastion. You go, you're just not going to die. Like, you're just not. We're going to just hang on to you there. You're all going to be fine. And we can just start to it's just like a wave game essentially at that point, where it's just wave of enemies come in, Sir Gibson knocks them down.
I think one of the things now that they are taking a little bit of time to go on to the next map, maybe wanting a little bit of a breather to sit down and kind of discuss exactly what happened. Because as they look towards this, obviously there was a little bit of a problem. There were some hiccups. Things didn't go according to plan by any means. The fact that they're coming in, having won the previous series, and now coming into this with a 1-0 advantage, obviously now dissipated. I don't think they're going to be happy with how things have gone at all, because we were at least expecting a very close series, even if it was going to be one that went to Silent Gaming. But right now that doesn't seem to be the case, and so we have to expect that right now March Marmots are resetting their mentality completely, and it is something that's kind of difficult to do. You come into a series as the favorite, sort of in terms of score advantage, and then you've got to look at it and go, okay, this is the best of 3 that we played a couple weeks back. We beat them then in the upper bracket in a best of 3. We can do it again. But it was 2-1. It was close. And if Silent pick up the next map, I mean, that momentum is going to be very hard to fight against.
Yeah, it is. But that's the point. They've done it before. This is not like, oh, okay, it's just like once off. These guys have played against each other in several different tournaments. They know how they play. And now you got March Marmots who have come in, they're 1 up, so they're not quite on the back foot, but they definitely have that ability to try and turn this one back in their favor. And don't forget, I mean, we already talked about it. Sharper knows this team inside out. He has worked with 4 of the members, I think it was, on that team from that Swiss World Cup team. So he knows how they play. They know the strategies that they want to try and go for. It's just a case of getting out of that mental state, not looking at the nameplates is kind of what you got to call it. Is don't think, okay, cool, look, we're up against Silent Gaming. No, we've done this before, guys. We know exactly what we're at, and we need to play our game plan. It felt a little bit like in that last match, March Marmots were going, okay, well, Silent Gaming did this really strong bunker comp. Let's see if we can run with it. Okay, it's not really working out. Now stuff's starting to fall apart. I think just kind of go back towards your own style. Get onto something where you're a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we are having a little bit of a technical issue with one of the monitors of the players. So they're working on getting that fixed, and hopefully we'll be jumping on into that in just a minute. The thing is, tech issues in general, when we see them across multiple games, that's where you kind of have a little bit of a momentum problem. And what we were thinking, Silent Gaming coming into this, having themselves now back on a 1-1. They've just steamrolled on the first map. They're going to be plowing on through to the next, but now there's a little bit of a break. And is that going to affect them? Now, I'm sure, a lot of them have played on a team together for a long time, so I'm sure that they're going to be a little bit used to technical delays and maybe a little bit of break in momentum. But this could maybe give a little bit of an advantage for March Marmots. At least we hope so.
It's just a chance to reset your mental. It's a case to go, okay, look, we know that stuff's gone awry, but now we can kind of go, no, look, we're going to go back towards the game plan. This is what we're going to look for. We're on this map. This is exactly how we want to play. Remember our setups. Remember the way that we play our game. That is what won March Marmots their game in that upper bracket final, and now they've got to see if they can do it once more in the grand final.
Absolutely. So coming into this, March Marmots, the fact that how much of a I suppose pressure builder do you think it is? The fact that not only is it the grand final, right, which in itself is going to be a bit of an issue. They're on stage, they're at this venue, they're not at home playing online, which in itself brings more pressure. But the fact that they're coming into this as not the underdog, so the underdogs altogether in the sense that although they came through the upper bracket, it was a close match and Silent have always won. The fact that they're playing for such a momentous and pride-filled opportunity to beat Silent Gaming, the team that have dominated the Swiss scene for so long, that's got to be hard to just face against on its own, like the nerves.
You've got to imagine, I mean, Swiss Overwatch is going to be watching this game. Everyone wants to know what the outcome is going to be. And even when they did beat them in the upper bracket final, I mean, Jaden tweeted out, like, we finally beat them. We finally did it. This was, you could tell how happy they were that they'd actually finally managed to dethrone Silent Gaming. And I think when you're in that situation, now you've got to do it one more time. That is going to put a lot of pressure on you. You know that there's going to be a lot of people watching going, okay, can March Marmots finally do it? Can they? Because everyone wants to beat the guy at the top. I mean, it's all well and good, but it's so hard if you are those guys, if you are Silent Gaming, to try and stay there. It's a case of, okay, well, we've got to innovate. We've got to be the ones that are changing our game plans around, because all eyes are going to be looking at us, seeing where our weaknesses are. How do we try and beat this? It's always hard when you're that team right at the tippy top of your platform, because every single time, everyone has their eyes on you.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, people are going to be looking at them not just to see if they can do it, but to see if they can discount the fact that Silent Gaming won. And if they win here, you know, although the victory was nice against them, it will be insignificant because Silent Gaming will still have won the whole tournament and cemented themselves as still being the top team. So it's almost fighting for the previous victory to matter as well, and to not just be discounted by not just the players, but by everybody watching to say, oh, okay, well, you got lucky that one time.
And that's the thing, we saw it in the Winter Cup as well for Overwatch was, okay, cool, well, great, they lost to Swiss Inc. Rebels. Maybe we've now got the opportunity to take them down, and then they won the grand finals. And now it's looking like, well, it's not looking like, we've only got one game in, but now there's the possibility that it is going to happen again, where they get knocked down, they look like maybe this is the time, maybe they will break. And once again, Silent Gaming come out in such a dominable performance in that first map on Gibraltar. It's looking a little bit shaky when it comes to March Marmots.
Well, it's what we've talked about a couple of times across a couple of different games so far at this tournament in general and in general. The fact that it's a very easy thing to say, these guys are favorites, they won last time on this map and this. It's about the form on the day. And if you've players not hitting shots or just maybe their mentality's offset a little bit by coming into this. Now, not hitting shots is a big thing in the likes of Counter-Strike, but what I think might affect you more here is focus. If you're not completely paying attention to ultimate economies, to timings, to where your teammates are, things can get, because LAN really does change things a lot more than I think most people even perceive. Because just sitting there in front of a crowd and trying to play the game like you're at home, the way you've practiced on, you know, in your chair, you know, you can go get your cup of tea whenever you want, and now you've got not only the crowd, you've got your teammates around you, you've got admins, you've got the whole tournament running, and you know a lot of people are watching you.
I think that's the big thing there, is taking yourself out of your comfort zone. I mean, if you're sitting at home, you got your feet up, you know, shoes off, your socks are out, it's great, you got your whatever drink you got in front of you, I mean, Red Bull, it's going to be perfect. But the problem is that when you go into a situation like this where you're not going to be able to see what's going on, you're looking in front of an entire crowd that's out in front of us. And thank you very much, guys, for joining us here today. We do appreciate it. But it does change things so dramatically.
Yeah, that really does. And unfortunately, we've been hit with another factor of LAN. Not only is there the crowd, the admins, the casters, the setup, but there's technical issues. There's never been a LAN without them, and there never will be. It's running a little bit longer than we thought, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw in a little bit of music for you, hit it over to a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute when we've got the PCs are working and the players are ready to go. So we'll catch you, be back here in a couple minutes for the second map of the Grand Finals. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We've got the tech issue underway, or resolved, rather.
Yeah.
It's no longer underway.
No,
Right.
we're back. We're good. I missed you. I'm glad you're back here. But we are going to be getting into map 3 very shortly. And I think, as we were kind of talking about before, I think Silent Gaming looking very dominable on that first map. Going to be very tough for March Marmots to try and come back from that. But at least I know it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. But when in a tech issue like that, we kind of talked about it, it gives you a moment to just forget about it. Look, it's done. It's not going to be playing on us anymore. We've had our time to deal with it. Now we can start to move into our next game.
Yeah, indeed. The fact that you can sit there after being crushed like that on the first map of the grand final, it's always nice to take a little bit of a break, and it's a forced tactical, I suppose. Everybody's calm now, ready to rumble, but
I mean, look at them. The guys are smiling.
Yeah.
Exactly. They know. They're all right. They're good. They're going to be getting in towards our hybrid map now. And I think we're kind of talking about this. You can see a lot of different stuff come out. We don't know our map for just the moment, but we'll share that with you the second that we do know. And I think that'll change things up a lot.
Yeah, so if you weren't here for the first map, which was Gibraltar, a standard escort map, it was March Marmots had a pretty weak attack, and the defense was even worse. I mean, they just got torn apart on the first team fight that came through. Silent we're looking dominant, are looking dominant, and as we move forward, let's see if they can continue that feat.
We'll have to see what is going to be the case. Silent Gaming will be going on the offense to begin with, whereas March Marmots will be looking to defend. I mean, when you're on King's Row like this, pretty handy to get that bastion set up on top.
And if you guys aren't familiar with these teams, if you're just joining us, we were talking before about Mimi, Lux, Scorpion, and Remix over on the Silent Gaming side are part of the Overwatch World Cup team for Switzerland. And looking at this, then you move over to the other side. Sharper is actually the general manager. So these teams know each other very well. And as we look towards King's Row, let's see who's going to be taking the advantage as we move forward. It's 1-1 right now in the defense, set up for March Marmots. They're going to be looking to take a little bit of high ground, keep that control, and we're seeing a lot of Baptiste.
And this is something that Silent Gaming were very proud of, was not running your traditional goats. They have the May goats out on this and look special. You can already see, though, Scorpion has been picked off. Not having that support is going to make this contest very difficult.
Yeah, they're forced to dive down because Silent are already on that point, starting to get a couple of picks coming through. Jaden's already going to be taking out the Ryan, and that's a really important pick for March Marmots, rather.
And you can see what 12 is trying to do here. Just touch that point, make sure that Goats doesn't really have an opportunity to try and push forward too far. Now they've got to try and break this bunker defense, but it's not going to be easy. They've already started to teeter around, and this is just a hallway of death right now. You go through there, you're going to know all about it in the morning.
You don't really have a whole lot to cover you either. If they had a Ryan there to push up the stairs, it would help a lot because they could make their ground over towards the further parts of the high ground. But Ryan, of course, got picked off a little bit earlier on. Now regrouping with his team so they can take that control.
Yeah, but Jaden has pop sights, so they know exactly where they are right now. They're just pretty much playing with their food, moving back and forth, knowing they can take multiple... Oh my, Jaden, one more time, Scorpion goes down.
Yeah, Scorpion just outside of the shield. They're going to be picked off. That's a little bit of healing going to be dissipated, and this gets a little bit scary now as March Marmots are going to try to contest this point. They got to push in, but another tick is already obtained by Silent Gaming. They're almost there. One fight's all they need. Jaden and Sharper go down. The Mercy is out. This is looking really good. The Blizzard as well. Silent Gaming destroying the players on the site, and this should be it. I mean, what can you really do? The Bastion trying his best, but shield's all over his face, and it's all left onto Baptiste, and an Immortality shield won't be sitting around for too much longer. That's the point obtained for Silent Gaming.
And they found that spot right there where they couldn't really be touched by the Bastion, and you can see 12 was trying their best to just keep touching the point as D.Va had the Pocket Mercy there for the healing, but it was too much. There just wasn't that damage to take down the big tanks on this GOAT setup from Silent Gaming. Now they've got the point, and now they move on towards Street Phase.
Okay, so we've got a Rally and a Graviton Surge ready to roll with. Over on the Silent Gaming side, there's the Rally, as they're going to just push on forward and try to take this team fight. They have to leave a player behind on the point to keep pushing forward unless they want to fully commit to this. And just pushing them back off that first corner, making sure that they have to at least gain a little bit more ground before the real fight comes in.
It was such an early rally, though. I thought they'd maybe pick somebody off, but here we go, wall one more time.
The wall goes down. This could be a little bit dangerous. Already charged up. Mimi's running in, swinging that hammer around. The damage is down. Exotics is out. Things are not looking good. The ice wall goes up to separate them, and a completely torn apart March Marmots are forced back into their spawn.
And that's the big thing here, when you can try and separate out Goats with Lux on this May, means it makes it very difficult for them to try and put up any sort of defense here. Silent Gaming now starting to push forward, and you got to say, once you get that nano boost on towards the Reinhardt, you can see swinging for the bleachers, manages to knock a few heads back towards spawn.
They're going to try to contest this before it goes onto that checkpoint, but the Graviton Surge is perfect. Checkpoint should be obtained, and indeed it is, as they couldn't get anywhere near it, and even at that, they're all going to die. March Marmots being torn apart at this point, and so much built up for Silent Gaming now.
And you even look at it and go, okay, well, they got the ult advantage. 12 has that Graviton Surge. You got the rally there. We should be able to take this fight. But it doesn't matter. Silent Gaming are picking them off before they can even try and put any sort of defense up.
Yeah, this is not good at all. March Marmots haven't even been contested or contestable in any of these fights. Silent Gaming haven't been contestable.
Yeah,
oh, there's Graviton Surge. This could be very dangerous. That wall saves them a little bit at least. They have to push around, buys them a little bit of extra time, but March Marmot's still able to find a victory in that fight, pushing them on back to their spawn and gaining the ults as they go.
Yeah, and it was only the Graviton Surge and the rally committed to that fight as well, so still 4 ultimates up for March Marmots. They can try and put on a hold, but you can see on the opposite side, a lot of those big ultimates starting to take over. Remix is going to have that sound barrier up in just time for this next fight as well.
Yeah, finally we're going to see a little bit of ground for March Marmots held, as they're going to be slowly but surely at least coming back into this series, but they better make sure it's not too late. It's still 3 minutes 40 on the clock.
Both teams are so aggressive though, you can see not even waiting a moment. We already get the Reinhardt, there's the Earth Shatter.
This is really bad. I mean, with the Reinhardt not getting the Earth Shatter blocked correctly is going to allow some opportunity for March Marmots to at least secure some damage, but oh my god, they're all frozen in place. Graviton Surge should keep them there to get the kills, and indeed it does. Silent Gaming with 2. Trying to return it a little bit, and oh no, Jaden's super aggressive.
They're trying to see if they can turn this around. I don't think it's the right call, though. You've already lost so much way to that Blizzard and even follow it up trying to get that Earth Shatter combo going, but it's not working out for them at all. Silent Gaming are clicking on heads and they're clicking towards that win.
It was a really nice boop, I think, from Remix that pushed Jaden all the way back towards the spawn of Silent Gaming, and so they were able to pick him off. And this fight is so aggressive from Silent. Like, they're pushed right on up to the spawn.
They smell blood in the water. They know that they can go for this. They don't have the ultimate economy, but there's so much invested. Sound barrier as well.
The wall goes up at least to keep them protected for a little bit longer, but they don't lose any players to the Graviton Surge. Great Earth Shatter coming in from Silent Gaming. Down goes Exotics, and this could be bad. The shield already dissipated from the defending side. Tankio was the one to find that kill, but you gotta be careful. 12 still fully charged up. So much charge on this area. Could result in a kill, but they're right there, 1.96 meters away. The kills are going for Silent Gaming, and things are not looking good. Sharper trying to delay time, but it's not gonna work, and those final few inches are gained. Silent Gaming make it all the way to the end. Now March Marmots have to try to do the same.
But you can see though, March Marmots were trying to get involved. They threw down the Graviton Surge, had that sound barrier coming in over the top of it, and they're still losing out in these fights. They just don't have the coordination there to try and just burst down one member. You got to just pick your target, separate them out of the fight. And I got to give credit to Lux. Like, I mean, we were talking before how strong he was on this May pick and showing it there, separating out March Marmots on several different occasions, made those fights so much easier, so much more heavily favored in Silent Gaming, and the result is a very quick sweep of King's Row.
Yeah, the offensive and the defensive use of the wall was pretty evident throughout that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, just consistently popping it, and again, just countering that Graviton Surge time and time again. Every time it went down, there was a wall to block them off and make sure that they at least ed a couple of seconds off that Graviton as they had to push around the wall, and indeed sometimes they didn't even manage to get any damage off of it.
And it's fantastic as well, because usually when you go into those situations, you want the likes of the Transcendence there to try and keep yourselves nice and healthy for those Graviton Surges, but because they were running the Ana and the Lucio, it meant that they needed something to keep themselves safe. Lux with the May Walls was exactly that answer. I mean, they could play more aggressive with that nano boost onto the Reinhardt.
Well, really, you've essentially, especially with the Zarya's being so consistently high charged, you've essentially got a free team fight. If you Graviton Surge them and your Ryan is able to charge the other Ryan out of there, they've barely any shields to work with, and it's pretty much going to be your fight. But the Ryan couldn't get near it because there was always a wall there to block him off. And now on 1-1, but with a 3-0 in this map, Silent Gaming only have to defend either this point or stop them from getting all the way to the end if they do unlock the payload.
And now you can see that we've got a little bit of a different setup coming in from Silent Gaming than what we saw on March Marmots. Opting instead for Tankio on this Wrecking Ball means that they can literally pop up March Marmots and let them be sitting ducks for Sir Gibson to try and take down. They have gone through Hotel here, trying to see if they can swing onto the point with the GOATS composition.
They're keeping themselves up on that high ground, though. As soon as the players go down to the point itself, you're going to have to drop down almost to take on board already, as March Marmots are getting a lot done. Tankio eliminated, but at least Keem is already taken out of the picture. Some healing dissipated. The shield's broken now as well. This is not looking too good at all.
They've got a great crossfire set up here, though, where they're able to push on from multiple angles. Now they dropped onto the point, though. Sir Gibson up on the high ground.
Oh, he goes up on top of the wall. That is so unfortunate for the Mei. She tries to counter him out of play, but instead puts him up. It doesn't matter. The fight's still back and forth as it goes. Is looking in favor of March Marmots. They're so close to taking this point. All they've got to do is deal with Tankio. And March Marmots quite successful on the first push. And I feel like as soon as they make it all the way over to the point and they're over in the corner, you have to drop down with your full team.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that we actually saw go pretty well for March Marmots on their defense, where they managed to delay a lot longer. The Silent Gaming were a little bit slow to react.
Well, that was the thing. Once they dropped down, it was open season for March Marmots. That's exactly where they want to be. They want to be brawling. They want to be in your face and taking those fights. And even with the slight mess up from 12, popping that Bastion up onto high ground, it wasn't enough. They were able to take out the rest of the team. And the second the ice melted, so did the health bar of the Bastion.
Okay, so Lux has got Bob at the minute, and here he comes. He's going to try to get some damage done. The ice wall is perfect, and this is again going to be March Marmots destroying in this fight. My
and this
God.
looks so different from when they're on defense. You can see that they're jumping in behind the Graviton Surge. They know, okay, look, we're focusing down this one member, get the Reinhardt out of here, and then we can turn on the rest of the team. This is so much more coordinated, and you can see the results. 4:35, and they're already pushing on to that second point.
Yeah, so much time to play with here. And even if they do lose a team fight or two, once they don't burn all the ults, I mean, 12's coming in with the Blizzard. Sure, you've already seen the Nano Boost work really well for March Marmots, but it's going to be swapped off of. And okay, I mean, Blizzard can be super effective, especially if you're popping the wall. This is going to be very dangerous. My God, just bait it in perfectly as they try to contest that final point.
I mean, there's caught between a rock and a hard place. It's not often that you see caught between a wall and another ice wall, but it is going to be Mimi falling, and it's everyone from Silent Gaming going down. I mean, this is what we were talking about. We were saying Silent Gaming looked so strong on this push, but March Marmots go, anything you can do, I can do better. They look incredible on this push.
Yeah, March Marmots had a really good read on what was going to happen. As soon as you see all the players kind of grouped up towards that last checkpoint, you know they're going to try to contest it before it pops. So once they walked forward, split them with the ice wall, take them down with the aggression. And of course, again, it's Zarya. Jaden's been constantly charged above 60 throughout these fights.
I don't like how Silent Gaming are pushing up here.
No, they're completely isolated, but that ice wall back in return is going to do so much work. All of Silent Gaming are trapped, but not actually dying just yet. The shields are up. Earth Shatter is going to cause problems. 2 picks to go in. They want to try and reset. Silent Gaming trying to get out of there, but they can't do it. They lose Mimi and Tankio, which means all the charge for the Zarya is gone. That's not ideal. And staggered even further by Scorpion falling. Now, he'll play in the back lines, so it's not the worst in the world, but it will delay them just a couple of seconds. And with 4:40 on the clock, you don't want Silent Gaming to be delayed at all when they go in to contest this. They need to be fighting and winning fights for the next 4 minutes straight.
Yeah, but they could have had the opportunity to try and hold them at that corner, but instead, now they're not going to be able to. Mimi gets knocked down.
Oh, charged in as well. Exotic is actually taken down. This could be good. At least managing to keep Mimi alive a little bit longer in the rhyme, but he's eventually going to be taken down by Jaden as they push on forward. Through the Blizzard they go. Cold times ahead, and the damage being done. Tankio charged up, and everybody caught in a Blizzard. There was no problem for him.
And this is what I thought they were going to do in that previous fight, was wait until the March Marmots tried to go around that corner, hold off, try and win out on that shield war, see if they can break Mimi's shield, Exotic shield on the opposite side, and maybe win out in that respect, farm up the last remnants of those ultimates that were just about to tick over. But instead, they end up losing out on that fight, and now they've got to try and hold, and realistically, they're not going to have a huge amount available for them, but neither do March Marmots.
Tankio recovered that perfectly in the previous fight. Let's see if he can do it again. 12 has been a constant harassment to this team, but now without Blizzard to pop, I mean, not many ults to use at all. They've got the rally, they've got themselves an Earth Shatter, but it's going to be a couple seconds before we see full commitment to a fight. The ice wall blocking off the other ice wall from really being effective. And it's just about scrapping right now until you build up these ultimates. Cookie going to keep herself alive, but that's not too good. As Exotics goes in for the Earth Shatter, it's going to be shielded. Mimi's got his Earth Shatter back in return, and it's a beautiful land, but he can't charge forward. That's so unfortunate. Caught up in the Graviton Surge, but the Blizzard gets them all the kills. And again, this is going to just be a stagger. They wait a little bit longer to kill Keem. And down to 3 minutes. Still, they're only a quarter of the way. March Marmots have so much time to try and take this to an overtime.
Yeah, and that was incredibly hard for March Marmots to deal with. You can see the Earth Shatter comes through, Lux instantly pops that Blizzard. Maybe a little bit of an overcommit using that rally as well for Sir Gibson, but it doesn't matter. Now they've still got a chance to try and push forward. Tankio and Remix have both their ultimates available, whereas just the Transcendence Blizzard will be available very shortly for 12, though.
Oh, completely locked out there by the ice wall at least, so we don't see too much coming through for the Graviton Surge. Blizzard as well is kind of a little bit underused. I mean, they managed to take Mimi down, but not a whole lot on the back of it outside of that. And they're going to be able to stagger pretty well because the rotation time's pretty good.
Yeah, they managed to get Tankyo, Sir Gibson's going to fall, and you got to imagine that this is going to be it. They're trying to block off those routes from spawn, see if they can get it towards those last stops. Scorpion desperately trying to get on here as the Doomfist.
Desperate picks as well as Lux has gone over to the Bastion to try and pick some damage off from afar. And actually the Ryan charges the other out. Mimi takes Exotics down the hole, but it doesn't matter. As he's removed from the equation, that's enough for March Marmots to push on forward and claim the point. And you got to admire the sacrifice from Mimi in the end.
You got to say as well, Keem looking absolutely unstoppable on that Zenyatta at the end as well. Picks off 3 quick kills. And that means that they're able to push in towards the end. But they did manage to hold on for quite a bit. Silent Gaming did a good job in delaying that final push. So they do end up with a little bit of an extra reserve in the time bank. Now we got to see what we can do because both teams looking a little bit shaky when it came to the defense.
Yeah, indeed. The defense is not the strongest in this matchup so far. It's been a little bit weaker than we expected. But we'll see if they can recover that as we swap on over. I mean, it's just been a couple of team fights where they're baited in a little bit too far. The ice walls have been used to isolate 1 player or 2 players. And on the back of that, the kills just keep rolling.
And I think Silent Gaming were caught out a little bit by that Mei pick. I don't think they were expecting it to be played against them. They're like, no, but Lux is the Mei player. You don't do that. And I think that was a little bit of a surprise for them. So we'd be surprised to see them in this rotation if they want to try and go towards that bunker composition again. See, it didn't really work out for them. They got caught with their pants down, and now it looks like in this case they're going to be going back towards just goats.
I mean, it's already been a pretty huge success for March Marmots in that sense. They've managed to force Lux back from Mei onto a Bastion towards that last fight, which I think works fairly well in their favor.
Well, we will see how the defense from Silent Gaming looks. This is the first time actually in a little while that they've decided to go back towards this goats. They were bragging about it after Polyland, saying that they didn't play traditional goats at any point in time, but Zenyatta is back on the cards, and we'll have to see how many of those orbs will manage to find their way past the shield of Exotics.
No, at least Mei coming in here on the defense for Silent Gaming. Wall already going to be popped up. March Marmots push on forward, and they're pushing them back. They're going to maybe get a tick on the board before a contestant really comes through. Oh, that wall's really good. Completely isolated. The Ryan could be in danger. Mei comes back in, though. Lux pops her own wall to keep them on back, but it might not matter. Jaden takes down Mimi, and without this Ryan, we've constantly seen Silent Gaming falter in these fights. The wall, again, just going to isolate them and keep them out of that point. 1 tick secured already.
Yeah, 12 looks absolutely fantastic on this Mei right now. Giving Lux a run for the money. Managed to pick off that Reinhardt, and now they should be able to push forward. Exotic's shield is nearly gone, though, as they start to push in.
Yeah, he has to play these fights now. They can't just hide behind the shield and wait, but it doesn't matter. The fights are going just perfectly for them. Even up against a 100% charged Tankyo, he will eventually fall. And a further staggered defense. I mean, the fact that they have a Lucio in play means
and look, they didn't even use anything. I mean, March Marmots still have all ultimates. 12s is about to come up as well. So when you imagine they're going to start pushing on towards this second point, the payload now acquired, it's looking tough for Silent Game to try and hold off. Of course, though, still have the opportunities. A lot of them are starting to come up as well.
Yeah, remember, both teams get to try an offensive here in overtime with the time that they had remaining in the previous. And taking a look at things, I mean, both teams have had very weak defenses. But if March Marmots manage to push this all the way, it really increases their chances because at least some of it is going to be through an OT. And if they can push it to that, then Silent Gaming only have to win 1 fight.
The biggest thing here is trying to get that Transcendence out nice and early, but there it is.
All the Blizzards going down as well. The Graviton Surge is in return, but this is bad for March Marmots because Graviton Surge inside the Blizzard, there was no escape. It's returned themselves, though. And although Lucio pops the sound barrier, I don't think they're going to be getting out of there. The ice wall narrows them down to a very narrow hallway. And the point should remain in favor of March Marmots, with Keem finding the pick onto Mimi. And again, they've just never looked good in these team fights. Once they've lost Mimi, directly afterwards, they lose multiple players. That's what happens here again. And Scorpion, trapped between 6 players, is never going to be surviving.
And the thing there was that Lux true in that Blizzard, not expecting Keem to have that Transcendence available, which was a little bit of a miscommunication there because Scorpion had theirs up and ready. Meant that when that Transcendence came out, it nullified all that damage that was coming in from the Blizzard, whereas on the opposite side, 12 was able to get off a good chunk of damage using their own one, and it really was what swung that fight in their favor.
Exactly, it's the more efficient use of the ultimates. Just a little bit of a misread can really cost you. The wall comes in, and they make it out of the Blizzard. Okay, March Marmots burn their Blizzard. They might get, yeah, indeed, they're going to take down Remix. So only the 1 kill for it. That will delay a little bit more time, though, as Silent Gamer are going to have to wait for him to come back over. He has a very quick rotation, but even still, every centimeter matters at this point. March Marmots are desperately trying to get it all the way to the end to at least guarantee themselves that they can't lose this map in the next stage.
Keep your eye on Jaden. That Graviton Surge could try and catch off a few members here if they can start to push forward. Cookie, though, taken very low.
There's the wall down, going to allow March Marmots to push it even further forward. They're Graviton searching each other, but up close and personal, March Marmots are grouped up. They're going to be able to swing in there and get the damage onto Mimi, whose shield's almost broken. Exotics drops the hammer down, but it's not going to work. Only catches one player, but it doesn't matter. The kills are on the back of it, although the Blizzard is in play. Oh, that sound barrier just in time to save Mimi and keep him alive a little bit longer. It's not going to matter, though, by the looks of things. It's all over as the push towards the final checkpoint.
The two supports look at each other in desperation there, where they go, where's our team gone? They've been absolutely decimated. And it gives the opportunity for March Marmots to push forward. You can see the smiles on their faces. Look how happy those boys are right now.
And you cannot blame them. What a recovery this has been from the previous map, which was a whitewash over on Gibraltar. Kings Row is looking a lot better, and look at Silent Gaming. They're looking stressed. And that's not something we expected to see, especially not after the first map and how that went.
Well, we will have to see what they decide to bring out this time around. And we got to talk about it. The defense on both sides has been very shaky. Hasn't looked at anything like their offensive strats here. And now, maybe we just see March Marmots go towards goats. I mean, they beat them pretty heavily on this May Goat style. Why not just rinse and repeat? There's no point to try and play something fancy or anything different when it's going to work out.
You know, whilst there is great opportunity for Silent Gaming to change their setup before they leave, I feel like it won't change too much. March Marmots coming in, though, definitely won't change. They have to set up their defense, and they're very far away from the spawn. The BM ice wall from 12 blocking the rest of his teammates off. You'd love to see it. And with 20 seconds left, I mean, they're deciding where they want to set up. Okay, Gunley just hiding behind the corner, allowing them to push around, hopefully ice walling some off, and then charging on in, taking those kills.
I was going to say, I would have been surprised to see Sir Gibson run with the Widowmaker. Obviously, they're just going to go for the goats v goats. And not even, they'd still have this May in variant that's coming in, and it has been working out for them. Actually seen Scorpion swap over towards the Ana last minute, so trying to see maybe if they can try and break something with the nano boost in the back pocket.
Yeah, nano boosting up Mimi maybe would help him out in these fights that he's been losing, at least give them a little bit more of a chance, because I feel like that has been a pivotal part of some of these rounds. Now remember, 2 team fights basically. If March Marmots win 2 team fights across this whole push, they've won. And isolating Mimi early on, there's not going to be any nano boost to keep him alive. Tries to charge out of there and actually takes Exotics down. This could be good. Shield still up, caught in the corner. Cookie's going to be taken down, and March Marmots are forced to fall back here unless they want to feed.
Yeah, and you can just see the setup there was fantastic. Lux pops up the ice wall, and it just gives that opportunity for Mimi to charge directly into that. And that's the difference, was the separation there. If you're going to try and go for this aggressive play where you're looking at those tight corners in and around that statue, see if you can pick someone off, you got to be able to commit. You got to be able to make sure you're the one that's separating Lux away from the fights. Unfortunately, they didn't, and it meant that Lux was the one who actually got the better separation when it came to both teams.
Great charge for Tankio here, up to 100. The damage is going to be so heavy, but that ice wall actually serves to protect March Marmots somewhat from what could have been a very scary fight.
Yeah, it gives them the opportunity to try and reset here. You can see Exotics, they have to put that shield down for a little bit, get that up nice and healthy. One more time as they start to pop through. Jaden trying to right-click their way to an advantage here.
Hiding around here with, well, not really hiding, swinging the hammer around, waiting for an opportunity to drop the hammer to the floor. Let the hammers hit the floor. Oh, this could be dangerous now with Mimi completely frozen. They're free to just hammer down. Their earth shattered, and so too is the offense. Silent Gaming are torn apart. This is just such a clean fight. I mean, it's so well played as well. I mean, okay, there's actually the potential to pull this back. The support alongside Tankio getting the damage done. The Discord's up, and Exotics 12, Sharper, Jaden, everybody's down. What is that? I mean, it was played so well. March Marmots dropped the Blizzard, then they boop Ryan out of the way and dropped the Earth Shatter.
I don't think it was played well. The big problem there was that when the Blizzard went down, nobody turned to focus on to anybody. The Reinhardt stayed alive for so long, and eventually the May decides to go for it, but there's no coordination here. There's no target selection, and it's really hurting these guys in these fights. It gives the opportunity for Silent Game to get those ultimates up and then try and turn that fight around.
That was the thing. I was so surprised. Once you remove Ryan from that and the Earth Shatter's connected alongside the Blizzard, I thought that was going to be it, but it falls apart. And Silent Gaming are the ones going to be walking away with that fight, but still a couple more to go. The ultimate's not looking too good for March Marmots right now, as the sound barrier is just going to protect Silent Gaming for so long. They're able to win out this fight, no problem. March Marmots torn apart here. Exotics and Cookie already down. The damage attempted here. They're going to recover it with a Blizzard at least, and Tankio finding himself another shot. Put them in a decent position on Silent Gaming, as Jaden is left alone versus another two players. Of course, it was a Zarya versus Zarya, but with a Mei supporting the offensive Zarya, it's pretty much over.
And that's the thing, was March Marmots were trying to get to that point, see if they could try and contest on that corner and maybe make it work out for them. But unfortunately, with the stagger that had come through, they weren't able to get up in time. And now they're in a lot of trouble where you can see already they can't hold on that first corner. Already got to concede that. Maybe get up here, but there's not a huge amount of numbers here.
Yeah, the rotations are super long from Silent Gaming because they died before the checkpoint was reached, so they went all the way back to the first spawn. But things aren't too bad as they regroup here, and the Graviton Surge goes in, attempting the damage. Okay, again, the Ice Wall is going to save them from the Rhine charging on through and doing that damage, but the Blizzard return by Silent Gaming doesn't really connect to anything. 12's caught in it for a second, but he's able to pop the Iceberg and keep herself alive. And Silent Gaming are the ones coming ahead with taking down 12. Oh, Mimi! You scared me there, buddy. Oh, great Earth Shatter as well! The boop goes down, Exotic's on the edge. It's going to be killed. That would have been a beautiful double boop.
I thought that this was going to go so differently when I saw that they actually hadn't got that Blizzard in the correct position over that Graviton Surge. I was like, okay, no, 2 ultimates gone. They haven't really got the cover, but a great recovery there from the boop separates. Not only the fact that it knocks one person off, but it also opens up that advantage. You can just tear through the health bars of those squishy backliners on the side of March Marmots. Now they got to try and come out. They got to try and find the fight, and there's going to be the rally popped.
That Ice Wall going to separate them. There's no falling back right now. They've got to commit to the fight. What an Earth Shatter! This is it. Can they focus it up this time? 2 kills on the back of it. This could be it. March Marmots just need to win this fight. 4 kills go down. This is looking amazing. They've done it. March Marmots take the map. Just a few meters away from the final point.
Use your words, Mitch.
Oh my God.
That was such a fantastic hold coming through from March Marmots. And that was what we talked about, was once you start to look a little bit shaky when it comes to those ult connections, once you can't quite get the coordination down, it starts to fall apart. Yes, they win at the fight, but because they didn't win it so heavily, it meant that they had to overcommit when it came to their ultimates, and it just gave that opportunity for March Marmots running from spawn, desperation in their eyes, but they managed to pick up that map victory.
That was incredible. Just a few meters. One last team fight opportunity, and they do it. 2-1 now. March Marmots have reclaimed the lead from an abysmal start to the series. That first point was just ridiculously bad from them.
Yeah.
They come back, they reset over time, and they come in looking like a completely different team here on Hybrid. Now Silent Gaming get to pick which assault map they're going to be playing on. And I mean, all things considered, March Marmots are looking incredible. The fact that they've already beaten Silent Gaming, and here they are putting on a hell of a show. We're guaranteed that if Silent Gaming are to win, it's a 3-2. Yeah. It's not even going to be, it's not possible for it to be one-sided anymore.
Yeah.
Unless March Marmots win this one, and it would be a 3-1 victory. And from being the most dominant Swiss team of Overwatch for such a long time to being 3-1 in the grand final, that would be one hell of a change.
Well, we'll have to see if March Marmots are going to be able to do it. But of course, as you were saying, they get Silent Gaming get map selection. So we'll have to see if they can pull out anything funky. But I got to say, on both sides, I want to see that defense shored up. It looked a little bit shaky, though it didn't really look like there's a huge amount of coordination. And we'll have to see if they can try and hold up the fort when it comes to their map 4.
We will indeed. We're going to go to a quick break before we go on to map number 4. It's 2-1 to March Marmots, and we're going to see if they can close it out in what would be one hell of a surprise. Stick with us for just a couple minutes. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, but you feel it, right? You can feel it. Then you're gonna flame us. Then you're gonna be out the room. Right? No, Ivan, if you win, you gotta stand up, shout out, Ivan! No, if you win, just shout, next to the Peter.
And welcome back, everybody. We're ready to jump on into Assault between March Marmots and Silent Gaming. What a map the previous one was. In overtime of overtime. That's always fun. It's always where things get exciting. And just a couple meters separated both teams' performances. But at the end of the day, that's all it took for March Marmots to go up 2-1. As we move over to Assault, Silent Gaming get to choose which map we're going to be taking on.
Yeah, exactly. This is match point now for March Marmots in this grand final. Their opportunity to dethrone Silent Gaming and make a name for themselves as they go in towards game 4. We'll have to see what it is going to be. As you were saying, it is going to be Salt. So we'll be looking forward to seeing exactly what Silent Gaming want to choose. But we could kind of see it was a little bit tough for both these guys on defense in the last game. It looked like both sides didn't really know how they wanted to go forward, and looks like we are going to be going on to Horizon Lunar Colony. This is going to have been a little bit of a Silent Gaming special, especially when they look towards those bunker compositions. It has worked very well for them. We saw it on that first map on Gibraltar. Now they've the opportunity to bring that out once more on this defensive side.
What we've seen for the most part is that when we've come over to actual point defense, that's really been the worst. Fights on payloads have looked a lot better for them. So really, I'm just looking for whoever can hold off the first point the longest looks the best. It can be a little bit difficult. There's so many ways to approach it. So defending it really relies on you having that information from the get-go.
Yeah, so it looks like March Marmots anyway are going to be going for this bunker setup on the defense here. The Exotics and Jaden are going to be looking at the Orisa and the Bastion combo. So we'll assume that they're going to pop themselves up onto that high ground. And I think that's why Silent Gaming are going, if we do see them leave with the current composition that they had, that cyber dive that we saw once again on Gibraltar, even adding Tankyo in on towards that Tracer means that they've got a little bit of added pressure, especially if they can use Tankyo to just touch onto the point, draw a couple of members of March Marmots out of this bunker that they've set up and give themselves the opportunities to start moving towards and getting the fights that they really want to.
So that's a great opening pick, but the problem is Lux is coming on over to the point and he's going to drag a couple of them off as he's gone by invisibly. I don't know if that's a word. Yeah, so it's a little bit awkward. It pulls a couple players off, but you really need to push on the back of it, and they're still just trying to dance around, keep themselves in it. The Bastion's just such an annoyance, but as soon as he's taken out, or you can take his healers out, and you can push towards him, that's when things become a little bit easier for you. Right now, Silent Gaming just trying to harass.
But this is what we're waiting for Silent Gaming to do. We already talked about the essential ultimates on the cyber dive, but pack onto 12.
Good damage done as well. Oh, not okay. Just about makes it. 1 HP taken out. Demeched. They're going to try to follow that up. You've got a Tracer on the point as well. This could be a little bit scary.
And the big issue here is that you can already see they're trying to back away with this Bastion, but not really doing it fast enough. It's giving ground over towards Silent Gaming, and now they can start to come in from multiple angles, and that's so bad for bunkers.
It is indeed. Exotics has to jump down to the point, but no... Okay, no heals. They're eventually going to focus towards, I think. There we go. Finally focusing on him and taken down very quickly. And the fact that there was nobody to support him, completely stuck. And even the couple seconds where there was a healer that could focus on him, he was hit by the bio grenade.
Yeah, this is incredibly tough for us, for the side of March Marmots. You can see now that they're swapping away from that composition altogether. Unfortunately, the bunker didn't quite work out for them. We already talked about being able to push on towards that point, but the big crucial factor here is there's an opportunity for a snowball here from Silent Gaming. Genji's Blade is available. You got the Nano Boost coming up in just a moment, and EMP there for Lux as well. This could completely decimate March Marmots if they're able to get this combo off.
In the potato room.
The potato.
The potato room. They're going to look to push through the potato room.
Are you just trying to make everyone know that we're Irish? Is that the plan?
Just in case you didn't pick up on that.
Okay.
Here we go. This is going to be a little bit dangerous. Balls of death all over the point.
That's the combo put down, though. You can already see the Nano Blade has gone in. EMP has been dropped. And now they're trying to push forward. Genji Blade gets Jaden out. And you can see that the rest of March Marmots are crumbling in their effort to try and hold on to this point.
I really felt like this was going to be the better point for the defense, but it doesn't look like it. Torn apart already. 1 tick on the board. Oh, but hold on. That sleep could get them a little bit of time to get the regroup on. Cookie's doing a really good job of staying alive and actually even manages to take down Sir Gibson. Whoa, okay, the kills do come in their favor. And March Marmots actually look a little bit better than I thought. I pretty much figured that was it over because Cookie should have died, but they weren't able to focus effectively enough.
And that's the issue now. Not able to get Cookie out of that fight means that now they have the opportunity. They only got 1 tick out of it, so still a little bit, but it's a case of rinse and repeat. You can see Scorpion 63% towards that Nano Boost already. Sir Gibson will be looking to farm up as well. 12. A couple shots off of Mimi, but we'll be able to force them back off at this point.
Swapping over to the Winston here. Exotics doesn't want to play that Wrecking Ball. Doesn't need to get to the point. So quickly pull in. Could be dangerous. The heals are in play for him though, so Tiger should be out of there alive.
And you can see the difference here from March Marmots, realizing, look, if we're giving Silent Game this opportunity to get towards that combo, it's not going to work out well for them. So they're trying to push forward, trying to be that bit more aggressive, but it's only feeding more of that ult charge in towards Sir Gibson. That Nano Boost is going to be crucial with the Blade.
Losing 12 here, this could prompt them to push very quickly, but they've already lost a couple of players, so I don't know if Silent Gaming are going to want to push in on the back of it. Oh, in goes the dive bomb, though. This could be it. The composition is out. Silent Gaming are using all their ultimates. They're going to try to win this out. This could be dangerous indeed. No heals possible now. A D-Mech is for sure, as things are not looking good for Jaden running around there. Very small, very weak, and very easy to kill. Going to try to build up the charge in the back lines to get that mech back, while 12 goes whole hog. Slept, so it's not going to cause too much of an issue.
And most of it was eaten by that defense matrix as well. Even before that, this means that Silent Gaming starting to push forward. Mimi picks off Kiam. You can see Cookie and Co are desperate to get onto this point, but you've already got the respawns coming through. They need to try and pick off a few members. That's going to be Cookie going down.
Cookie and Exotics may just be the members picked off that they needed to find. Jaden still on the point is going to be sound barriered, but look how quickly that health is dissipating. Jaden running around won't be lasting all too much longer. Actually avoiding death for a little bit too long.
Nano Boost still there. Gone down as well, though. You can see there's going to be the sound barrier. Sir Gibson's looking for that blade. It's going to be so close, but Exotics is whacking faces right now.
This is not looking too good at all. Silent Gaming finding the kills. Jaden managed to stay alive, though, this whole time and managed to get back into the mech. Now, that's dangerous because, of course, Dive Bomb going to just delay them a little bit more, and that's a huge play from Jaden. I can't highlight that enough. Buying so much time for his team. 3 minutes left on the board, though. Silent Gaming have all the time to work with. Oh, Cookie and 12 both go down to that dive bomb. That's not too good at all. Keem even falls to the balls.
And that's the big issue, is that if Mimi is going to be running this Wrecking Ball, you've got no shields there. And the second that Brigida gets slept, it just means it's decimation. And that's going to be the Silent Gaming picking up a full offense on round 1.
Things not looking too good right now. March Marmots lost on the previous map pick of Silent, and now things are looking to be much the same on Assault. Although 3 minutes left in the bank, it's not the most in the world. They did manage to delay quite efficiently on that.
But this is what we see Silent Gaming go for all the time. Is this, okay, we're just going to farm it up, we're just going to wait. And even if they don't get the opportunity to go for a fight, they still have that Cyber Dive combo there that they can work with. But they're finding the opportunities before they even need that. You can see once they even have a nano blade, they just go for it because they realize, look, they've taken that little bit too far forward. March Marmots are out of position. We can try and get this advantage to swing in our favor. And this time, they most certainly do so.
Well, the fact that Jaden was left untouched for so long, I think, was a massive problem. As soon as he was demeched, they just stopped focusing. He was able to sit in the back lines, keep on firing shots through, get his mech back up far quicker than he should have been re-involved in that fight. Then the Diva Bomb, of course, just caused it to take even longer before they could really do anything about it. At that point, we saw that the defense was able to kind of reload a little bit, get in there, and run an extra minute off the clock. While it may not seem like a lot of time, as they had 6 to play with, still, every second counts.
Well, this is where I want to see what March Marmots can do. If they can try and break open this bunker composition Silent Gaming have gone for, opting for the Symmetra as well, great at ripping through these shields, especially if they can try and push them back. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do particularly much. It's going to be so difficult for them to try and get up onto this high ground. You need to try and boost through and get up those stairs.
We're playing a Symmetra here. Cookie's going to be looking to teleport them over. This could be very dangerous indeed. They'll completely bypass them, and I don't think they'll even have an idea if it does go through.
Yeah, you can see they do have 12 running that May as well, so we have to block off a little bit, but Cookie's already been taken off. They have gone towards the point, though, just trying to avoid everything that they have.
Yeah, that's the whole team over there. Sebastian shouldn't really be able to say a whole lot. He has to go over and set up, giving them time to at least win out a couple of these fights. The Immortality Shield already going to be removed from play, but Scorpion, Rain, and Death from above alongside Bastion certainly makes things difficult for this offense to clock up the ticks. And watch out, Reinhardt. You're a big target for that Bastion. Even the shield won't protect you with that angle.
You need to get a May wall up onto that high ground, but unfortunately they're just not quite able to do it. You can see that they're losing so much here.
Yeah, Exotic at this point should be dead. I mean, it's so easy for Bastion to hit him. Okay, he's managed to be actually healed up, and somehow they're coming out on top in these fights. Bastion goes tank, and he's going to try to get the kills on the back of it, but a nano-boosted Ryan is not exactly the easiest to kill. Oh, the Mercy even in danger and taken down. The offensive actually works for March Marmots, and Ryan was like 10 HP for a good 10 seconds.
Yeah, and I really like the swap here coming through from Cookie. Going towards that Tracer means that they're able to get up onto that high ground, start to harass down Sir Gibson, which, I mean, he had the tank, so he kind of wanted to be into that party mix, but still getting the opportunity to start to pick off some of the supports in the back line and now start to push forward. Gonna have to see, though, Scorpion once again set up on this high ground, has the Immortality Field to try and keep Sir Gibson alive. This is a much more open room, so it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to try and find the angles where they can avoid this Bastion's damage.
Exactly. They avoided Bastion by sitting just right below him that whole time, holding over at the window. But now that's a whole lot more difficult. Boosting him up on top, this could be very good because the shield isn't covering him. He's at least forced to fall back a little bit for a couple seconds, allowing them to get into the back room. And they're going to try to wrap up behind. This is very dangerous. The ground that March Marmots are covering certainly puts them in a very solid position to win out this fight, and it's going to come through with Exotic's shield now broken. Going to be just pushing on forward, tries to get the Earth Shatter behind the shield, but he's going to be taken down before he can even press the button to do so. Now Sonic Gaming come out on top in this engagement, at least for now. The recovery should be pretty difficult without the main tanks in play, and they're all in the sideline of Bastion. Lucio falls back, but everybody else is dead.
Yeah, the problem is you've got to try and not only get through that shield from the Orisa, the Immortality Field is there as well, and you've got to invest resources to take both of those down. It means that it's so easy for the side of Sir Gibson, who can just let loose into the health bars that are put in front of him, especially with Exotics. Not exactly the most difficult target to miss when they're standing right in front of you.
Okay, the defense matrix in the shield at least protects everybody walking over towards, again, this angle. But look at Silent Gaming. Ticks on everybody except Scorpion. We got ultimates for days here. Now, sure, it's the same for March Marmots, but with the high ground in their favor and the fact that they're all sitting behind the shield.
The big thing here, though, is they have the Blizzard available for 12, so this time they can actually just toss that out and force them off the high ground, and that now will give the opportunity for them to crack this open, particularly with the Earth Shatter there as well.
Just going to wait as the Immortality Field's going to be popped behind that shield that keeps them all alive and just makes things so difficult for this fight to go in favor of March Marmots. Now's the time to pop that Blizzard, though, because the push is coming in, and March Marmots are doing a lot of damage. Exotics has already taken the Immortality Field out of play. 12 is going to be taken out. But other than that, the kills are looking pretty good for March Marmots.
They have managed to hold on for the moment. Silent Gaming doing okay. Bob putting in a lot of work on this point. Keem is actually going to be dropped. And Scorpion, once again, with that Immortality Field, is keeping them alive for so long.
That was really important. Diva was about to be taken down, but the Immortality Field keeps her alive. And once again, they're going to be able to set this setup up. With 4 minutes on the clock, they do need to at least waste down another one to put them on an even footing. As of course, if it goes to an overtime, you have your time to play with. Oh,
And now you
swap.
see the swap coming through, going towards this forward DPS. They want to see if they can start to get the poke down and just let loose with those ultimates. Try and force them down, particularly if you can get that Hanzo ultimate to go across multiple different members there. It's just sitting ducks.
Indeed it is. March Marmots are taking a long time here to reload, deciding on their composition. Just love how Zarya looks when she's like bopping along with a little boost, pushing herself forward. So here we go, speed boosting on in. They're going to just go in for the dive, try to get it done, but the dive composition won't really work as effectively as they'd hope because there's no more Bastion. Now they're playing against another GOAT setup. Silent Gaming are going to look to get back on that point. They need to get in there because the tick's about to be obtained.
Exotics goes way too deep though. He ends up getting caught out, and now it's just giving the opportunity for Silent Gaming to start to push them back.
At least a little bit of damage built up by Marmots as they get one tick on the board. It's some progress, but they're about to hit the same time as Silent Gaming. This is the fight they want to win to be on even footing. The bubble there onto Brigitte allows her to close in the distance and try to get a little bit of damage done, but the ranged fight not really going too well for March Marmots. They're only hitting shields at the moment and eventually just going to be pushed back. This is not looking good. Silent Gaming even winning the fight towards the spawn and staggering them even further. And the more picks they can take down, the better, and Keem is going to be taken by a charge. It's all about just delaying that time, and finding that last kill onto Keem means that there's just going to be an extra couple seconds while they wait to make that push forward. Now again, the stagger is made onto a character that plays from further back. When you're staggering either Keem or, if you, for example, Scorpion, if they were on the offensive, you're taking a Zenyatta out, it's not too bad because they can still push forward with her, as you see, a little bit behind. But if it was a Ryan or something, that's when things would get scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mistake from Exotics as well. It goes way too deep, caught out behind the shield, just means that they're free hitting, and then we get the Graviton Surge going through.
A team bomb in the back lines. Cookie and 12 go down alongside Exotics. Jaden's team mech and about to be eliminated. Not going to be left unchecked for too long. But look at this. They're just going to wait. Jaden's just jumping around, unable to get out of there. Jaden's still towards the point.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can do. They're just holding them there. I mean, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to do.
Look, there you go, eventually killing. And that's a solid like 15 seconds delayed where they're not going to be able to push. And Jaden, you see in chat there with a shocked face, not too happy. He literally couldn't get out of there. There was no escape. You just had to stand there and wait until they finally decide to kill you.
Well, we can see that they're going to try and go for a very similar setup here.
But look at the time it's wasting now while they wait for Jaden to come over. That is so much valuable time kept.
And this is the point. You either try and push through, or else you see or give advantage over towards that high ground to the side of Silent Gaming. That's exactly where they want to be. I mean, look where this Zarya is. She's free hitting onto the back line.
Free hitting and fully charged as well. That's a lot of damage done. Mimi insta-kills Cookie on the back of it. A great charge there as 12 was pinned against the wall, but makes it away on the back of a shield.
And one more time, they managed to force them back, and this time is ticking away. A minute 15 left on the clock. They need to find something, but March Marmots haven't really looked like they've had their head in the game. This GOATS matchup is going very heavily in favor of Silent Gaming, and now they've even got the ult advantage.
This is not the ideal situation for Silent Gaming building up. For March Marmots, rather. 50 seconds on the clock. They're 2-1 ahead in the series. But if they don't find this in this last fight, it's all over. One last opportunity. They're not looking good on ultimates either. Only Ryan and Zarya to play with as the push comes on through. They have a great opportunity if they can manage to take that Earth Shatter and take Mimi out. Great bio grenade as well. No healing for them. Oh, but okay. The sound barrier comes out just in time to keep them alive.
Yeah, sound barrier will keep them nicely topped up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count as healing, so that bio grenade isn't going to do particularly much. There goes the Blizzard, though.
The Blizzard at least going to push them back a little bit. 12's able to take down Scorpion. We're looking for a little bit more damage, and it completely isolated Jaden. No more to be done from him.
They're going to be forced back once again. 10 seconds left. 12, Kim, Cookie desperately trying to push forward, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do very much. You can see Silent Gaming with confidence stride forward.
2 seconds, they've got to get on the point, and it's looking like it's all going to be over. And overtime as they just about managed to connect it. But the push, it's not staggered long enough. 12 couldn't get in there with the boop going forward to keep him out of play, and that is going to be a 2-2.
Yeah, I think when it comes to just this straight up GOATS v GOATS, Silent Gaming is just more practice. They understand exactly how to start maneuvering around when it comes to shields, when it comes to positioning, how you can start to just nullify Exotics with that Reinhardt shield. It just hasn't worked out in the same way that we've been seeing on the opposite side coming in from Mimi. They need to find something else. I even liked the addition of the Mei into it. That was really where they were finding their stride on King's Row. It looked like they just were able to find the advantages using that Mei wall just to separate out the teams, but it came in too little too late. They had already lost too many fights. The ult advantages were heavily in favor of Silent Gaming, and they were able to hold off on the point.
And moving on to what will be the final map of the series. No matter what happens, this is where it ends. 2-2. This has been one hell of a grand final so far for what, on paper, could have been a whitewash 3-1 in favor of either team at some point. But we're going the distance. Yeah. And what a phenomenal story. I mean, the team that has been dominant in this scene for such a long time, being taken the full distance, they've had to come back in the reverse sweep from a 2-1 down. And here's their chance to prove they're still the best in Switzerland. Control is where it's going to happen, and of course that means it is going to be March Marmots that get to choose what map we start on. Yeah. But even at that, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference.
But this is where you get to feel it. This is where you can hear the excitement in the crowd. You know that the players are going to be feeling it, particularly as March Marmots. The opportunity to cause the upset, to take Silent Gaming, to take them off of that throne and say, no, you're no longer dominant. We are the ones that are stepping up. We are the ones, especially when you look at like Sir Gibson, who stepped away from that team to go join Silent Gaming. You got Sharper there, who understands Silent Gaming. He's worked heavily and closely with 4 members of that squad to now come back and go, no, what boys, no. Manager knows best. We know how to do it. That would be an incredible story, but March Marmot need to find the victory here. One last time they need to crack the defense that is coming in from Silent Gaming. One more time they need to try and push forward. And we have all the questions will be answered. But can they find that victory?
It's going to be a difficult one, that's for sure, because this is where things come down to the team fights. It's going to be a much more head-to-head situation on a control basis, because you're not setting up, you're not trying to delay time. You need to get in there. Each team needs to fight to win the point, to keep things ticking up. There's 3 points to play for. First to win 2 will win this entire thing.
And don't forget, March Marmot, of course, do have the opportunity to pick the map. They know how they want to play. They've seen the cracks that are in the defense of Silent Gaming, and now they have to see how they can try and exploit that. It's been very back and forth. Pretty much every team picking up their map so far. And now we'll have to see if March Marmots can keep that streak going, or can Silent Gaming put their foot down and once more defend the castle.
Busan. This is going to be a pretty interesting one. Oh no, Li Jiang. The first little turn tricked me. The goddamn observer angles.
Don't blame production.
I saw a cow and I just thought it was Busan. Okay, leave me alone. It's such a cute little cow, the little inflatable one on the roof. Yeah. I love it. But we're here on Li Jiang Tower. I've heard it's the cache. The cache of Overwatch.
No, it's Night Markers.
That one's
That's
for
where
Andy.
we're going.
That one's for Andy. We're looking at a 2-2 scoreline. We finish it off on Li Jiang Tower, which, Rob, for you and me, just makes sense.
Yes.
we see this a lot in the Irish scene, and we're seeing it right here and right
this
now.
This is actually our first map that we cast together as well. So a little bit of a special one for us now to finish off in Switzerland. But I want to see how this is going to turn out. I can hear the excitement from the crowd. I can hear that they are waiting to see how this is going to work out. March Marmots versus Silent Gaming one more time, and Silent Gaming are already taking control.
Mimi comes in there in the wrecking ball to open it up, and on the back of it, everybody's falling back. The boop is attempted, and it would have been beautiful, but Sir Gibson doesn't get anybody off the map, unfortunately.
And I like what Silent Gaming are going for here, opting towards the 4 DPS. You can assume that March Marmots are going to come out with some sort of GOATS composition, but now they're starting to swap over, looking more towards 12 to see if they can hook this far out of the sky, see if they can maybe get something working. But Sir Gibson's dropped quite a bit of that rocket barrage so far.
Scorpion's being focused on here, almost got hooked in and then almost got killed even after that by just a straight up damage. Mimi causing the damage with the... Okay, bailing on out of there. I thought he was just going to stick around and take the guns out, but doesn't decide to do that.
They're trying to bait them in onto this point. They want to see if they can get those ultimates to come across. There's the Dragon Strike.
The bio grenade was fantastic as well. Scorpion wasn't able to get himself healed, and that caused a lot of problems. You're now removing the Mercy from play, and with only a couple of players on the point, they need to find kills. Silent Gaming are doing it. Down goes the sound barrier, and down 2 should go March Marmots as Exotic sits over here, going to be hacked out as well. Eventually manages to get the Primal Rage on the board, and goodbye to the hacker.
No, managed to get the
teleport back.
Yeah, gets the translocate back on towards the point. They're holding off. There's the rocket barrage. You can see the Winston bubble trying to see if they can shut that one off, but there's too much damage there. Silent Gaming, 48% already, and they forced them back. You need to see changes coming in from March Marmots. This GOATS composition is literally being countered right now. They have to swap over. I want to see Dive come through. See if they can swap Cookie onto something like the Tracer, something like a Sombra, so they can try and go for these fights, get in towards the back line, disrupt the likes of Tankio on this Hanzo, but they're not doing it. They're trying to push forward. They're just putting their head against the wall.
Try to get inside to at least have a closer range engagement. The whole hog going to be very effective here, pinning them up against the wall. Goodbye, Mimi. And let's see what else they can do. Now the Pharah's in danger, being pushed off the site, and things are not looking too good. The kills keep coming in favor of March Marmots. There goes the barrage. Only one to be found on the back of it, though, and that leaves Mercy all alone with nobody to help, nobody to find the kills alongside her. Out there goes Lux, bailing out of the fight, which means March Marmots have found the point, and at least for now, are ahead.
The flip will come through, but unfortunately, a little bit of missed timing coming in from Silent Gaming. The EMP goes down, Sir Gibson not in the position to push forward. Lux being slept. You can assume that this is not going to work out too well for the Sombra in that situation. Bionade will pick up the kill. Keem will add one more to their hit list. But March Marmots still committing to this point. Silent Gaming now starting to swap over towards the Goats compositions themselves. They realize, look, we only need to get one more fight. We only need to control this point one more time. And Goats is definitely one of the best ways to go about that.
They've got 2 opportunities to take team fights here, which gives them one where they can just build up their ultimates. That's the objective coming into this, I would imagine. Dive bomb goes in. Shouldn't get all too much in the back of it, though. It goes over the wall. Silent Gaming closing in on the side, but that bio grenade is perfect. Look at this. Nobody's able to really fight here. The D.Va is out. They're just bailing, jumping off the edge, resetting, because they don't want to feed over any ultimate charge towards the March Marmots. But even at that, 12 and Sharper are about to hit theirs, and Silent Gaming are nowhere near. They've got a sound barrier that can keep them in a fight, as Remix should have it by the time they take another team fight. But outside of that, this could be scary. March Marmots are on the verge of taking it if they win this fight.
You can see Silent Gaming are just trying to push in now. They realize, look, if we want to get 2 fights out of this, we got to start going now. But unfortunately, they're so far behind the ultimates because of that late swap. It means that March Marmots might be able to hold on to this point for just a little bit longer.
There's a sound barrier going down as they're going to try to take this fight here and now. This is where they need to win it. 80% on the clock as Silent Gaming haven't found any kills just yet, but they're not able to push into the point. This is a big problem for them. Oh, completely isolated here. The Rhine is being torn apart. The Primal Rage pushing him off the map. Fantastic from Winston.
It's a swing and a miss from Mimi, who ends up being pushed off the point, but Lux does manage to get exotics. Is turned around by Cookie, trying to see if they can push in. This Roadhog is trying to get the damage off. Bionade will buy a little bit of time as they're forced to back away off the point.
Indeed, forced back for now. March Marmots on 99%. If they win this fight, they've got it, but it doesn't look like it. 12 sticking around maybe a little bit too long. Even an Earth Shatter going to be used.
But they managed to delay him. 12 is taking a good bit of time to go down. And now they've got exotics as well. They can't get back onto this point. The flip will go over towards Silent Gaming, but you've got one last-ditch effort from March Marmots, and I don't see the way that they can try and push forward. 12 swapping over from that Roadhog onto the May. They want to see if they can separate out this team and find a pick before this fight kicks off.
The ults aren't looking all too good. Okay, they need to contest in overtime. They've got to get in there, but Sharper trying to contest the overtime actually gets taken down. A dive bomb goes in. This could be a little bit scary now. No kills to be connected on the back, but as the sleep goes in from Cam, they're going to try to take the Rhine out, and indeed they do. This is looking a little bit better now, but oh, no, it's not. Silent Gaming returns so many kills. Sir Gibson, what are you doing? Keem, 12 exotics, everybody's dying to the hammer, the swinging hammer of Sir Gibson. And on a chain, they tie up March Marmots. 1-0. They're going to be looking at the lead for now. All they have to do is find one of the next 2 points, and Silent Gaming will have reclaimed their dominance.
Yeah, but it was not easy for them to do at all. But again, we're seeing this swap coming in over on towards compositions where they're being countered quite a bit by March Marmots. You get the 4 DPS that comes out, they're still sticking to their guns, not trying to swap over towards the dive and put pressure on towards the sniper in the back line, trying to get some sort of a mix-up going. Unfortunately, it means that they're given that little bit of extra time over towards Silent Gaming, who are very happy to start pushing those percentage numbers up in towards that 85%. And that's when they realize, look, we just need to get this point once. We go back towards Goats. We've been winning out on it throughout this series. They win the fight one last time, and then they're able to push it over towards that 100% tick.
We got to take a deep breath, Rob. We got to take a deep breath, because this could be it. This could be where Silent Gaming managed to close the series out. We want to see March Marmots do it as well, though. I don't know who to root for in this one. Moving towards it. Oh, the opening point not going to look too good. Bio Grenade's going to have to be popped to keep them at least alive for now and healthy, but Sir Gibson's causing the damage. Again, the DPS in Sir Gibson's hand is always going to be dangerous. And a Pharah with the opening kill and looking for even more. Getting lit down low, but the heals are there to keep him alive at least. And already we're going to have a nano boost coming through. Exotic's going to try to recover this. The charge goes in, and this could be dangerous for the Wrecking Ball. Now on low HP, bailing out of there. It's not quite going to hit, and the shield and alongside the defense matrix completely takes Sir Gibson's ultimate out of it. The barrage finds nothing. And although March Marmots were looking bad at the start, they found 2 kills at least to recover for now. 12's not going to be able to heal, though.
They're still committing a lot, though. You can see that they threw down the grenades on point. You've also got that EMP. Valkyrie now used as well. They're desperately trying to hold on. 12 comes out with the whole hog, seeing if they can take a few members out. And this is incredibly back and forth. Everyone's just popping ultimates the second they come online.
Yeah, indeed. It's all about this scrappy first fight. You want to be the one to gain control of the point early on. Trying to boop them off the point to get at least a little bit of a tick. This could be a little bit dangerous, though. Sir Gibson swapped over to the Doomfist, where he's looking to get the damage done. Already taking out Keem, focusing on their supports for now. Brigida could be in a little bit of danger. Sir Gibson's being boosted up here by Scorpion, so taking him down is going to be quite difficult. In goes the charge, but he doesn't hit anybody in the back of it. It's Tankio that's actually finding the opening kills. Now with a Dragon Strike as well. This should be it.
Yeah, it picks off 3 members there. Silent Gaming looking completely in control of this first point.
Beautiful play by Tankio. I was expecting that the Dragon Strike might need to be deployed, but evidently not. He just keeps on hitting the shots, and his teammates were there to keep the health low of those opponents. So only the 1 arrow needed.
And now we can look and see Silent Gaming very much in control here. Sir Gibson looking great on this Doomfist. Close quarters is exactly where Doomfist shines. And against a composition like March Marmots is putting in wonders. 12 looking like, again, it's kind of a case of, oh, Silent Gaming are doing this. We're going to try and do the same, but the Dragon Strike just goes straight into the face of Keem.
Keem can't get himself healed up. Sir Gibson comes in and knocks Exotics back into it as well. Great kills by Sir Gibson here. 12's out of the picture. And Tankio's going to be revived, so they don't even need to worry about the rotation time. Things are not looking too good at all.
No, it's not even close. I mean, you've still got a lot of ultimates coming online for Silent Gaming. They're not over-committing either. Only the single Dragon Strike used in that fight means that they've got everything to play for in this next fight. 12, that's not the position that you want to be in, buddy.
He tried to push around and pull them back to the point to at least gain a little bit of ground for his team or catch them off by surprise, but the problem was he got hacked by Lux, so he had no escape, no way to keep up the maneuverability that makes Doomfist such an annoying character. Hard to hit and hits hard, but not when he's hacked. And then they all just group up, take him out. That staggers them. More time lost, and that pushes it up to around 70% on the point for Silent Gaming before March Marmots are even able to contest.
And if Tankio even gets a single hit here with his hands on wall, will be pushing up towards that ultimate. There goes the Diva Bomb.
Yeah, nothing to be connected on the back of it. They're able to safely retreat, and now you've got Dragon Strike in play. All the kills coming in for Silent Gaming, and my God, even drops the Dragon Strike. Insult to injury here. 12 is going to be taken down by it as Exotics resets. They think they've got time for just one more. With 80% on the ticker, though, this could be very bad. The bridge can be blocked off right now by the Wrecking Ball. He knows they're coming around behind, though. You can see them going in into the room, and once they cross that bridge, he's going to go over there, pop the orbs, and this is going to make it very difficult for them to make any progress. Look at that. Exotics even dies. He got booped off the map as Winston. What is this?
Yeah, Sharper's gone as well. This is disaster for March Marmot. Silent Gaming popped the sound barrier. They know they've got this. They know they can do it. And as that overtime ticks down, March Marmot's desperately trying to get onto this point one last time.
They've got the Winston and the Lucio over there. The sound barrier as well. Going to delay a little bit more. March Marmots need to win this fight. And Cookie and 12 find 2 kills. This could be it, though. Silent Gaming popped a couple of the rolls maybe a little bit too early. The Mercy. Okay, the revive actually comes through before Mercy's going to eventually be dropped. That means that Tankio's at least going to be here to cause a little bit more damage. No ultimate in play, but 80%. He might be able to pop this up. Eventually gets eliminated, so obviously not. And the kills for March Marmots, they've recovered it. They've brought it over in their favor. But don't get too hopeful. They're on 0%. They've got to hold off against at least 3 team fights, and Silent Gaming mixing up their composition a little bit. Their ultimates aren't looking too good, so they're happy to switch over. Tankio's going to have a Dragon Strike. Mimi's going to have those nasty little orbs to pop on through. And Lux has got the EMP.
This has got to be the defense of the life coming in from March Marmots. One flip, and that could be it. But this could be crucial. Mimi just managed to put down the grenades on the point.
The EMP was in there as well, so Lux was able to find a kill in the back of it. Just the Wrecking Ball spinning around now. Going to be a serious hassle. Jaden's going to be baited in and taken down by one of those orbs. That's really bad. As Sir Gibson takes 12, he was completely isolated towards the back. Oh no, Exotic goes in, but he's isolated. He's only got a Brigida with him, and she goes down, no heals. Oh, but he pops the Primal Rage, able to keep himself alive at least a little bit longer. Goodbye, Anna. No! I think he pushed her back on, jumping back in to keep that point on contested and make sure that it doesn't swap back over in favor of Silent Gaming. The problem is Sir Gibson is doing all the work. He's found 2 kills. They're able to take him out eventually, though. The Lucio, even though he's being healed up by a Mercy, is able to eliminate him. The problem is he's able to be revived as Lucio can't get the damage done. And this is it. This Cookie is there. I'm not holding out hope though. Dragon Strike goes down, overtime in play. They've got to get on that point and stop it. It doesn't look possible as Tankio keeps on hitting shots. Exotic goes into the lane a little bit longer, but again, he's going to be taken out by Tankio, and the overtime is ticking. They're delaying it as long as they can, but March Marmots, are they really going to be able to reset and get this done? Lux pops an EMP just to make sure nothing crazy happens. Gotta be careful, the Tracer gets on. Time keeps on going, it keeps on ticking as March Marmots are trying to delay long enough to reset their whole team and get in here for one more fight. Can they do it? They keep on touching this point. How long can they keep this up though?
The overtime to end all overtimes. March Marmots desperately trying to keep their hopes and dreams alive, but there's too much Silent Gaming have control at this point. They're getting the kills, they're getting the picks, and they're looking towards the finish. They get it! Silent Gaming are your victors!
Eventually, they're able to take it across the line. My God, March Marmots delayed that time so long. But Silent Gaming have once again redeemed themselves as the dominant team in Swiss Overwatch, but it certainly wasn't a one-sided affair. March Marmots stuck it to them and made them fight for every single victory.
It was tooth and nail the entire way, but unfortunately March Marmots, Lijiang Tower was just not your map today. Commiserations to them, but still your reigning champions are Silent Gaming, still sitting tall at the top of Swiss Overwatch.
They are indeed, and that may remain for quite a while. Although they've lost 2 upper brackets, they've eventually managed to win it in the grand finals again and again, never losing these tournaments. And that's got to be gutting for March Marmots, although you have to say they can be very proud of the progress that they've made. Such an interesting series and definitely an exciting one.
Yeah, it was so close. I mean, even if March Marmots weren't quite able to get it across the line, you can see the gap is closed. That was an incredibly close series that really could have gone either way. Silent Gaming were the ones who come out on top, but that was not a convincing victory whatsoever. That could have really gone either way.
It absolutely could have. And I mean, there were so many team fights that just one ice wall a couple inches further back could have swung things over in their favor. Throughout this series, it's just been the tiny percentage plays, but ultimately it has been Silent Gaming that come out on top. And I mean, we were coming into this hoping that this wouldn't be one-sided. And I mean, to a certain extent, hoping that March Marmots were going to take it. I mean, just for the storyline, just to say, you know, they've actually done it. They've beaten them more than once, but whilst they haven't shown that they're a more dominant team than Silent Gaming, they've definitely shown that they're up there and that they're able to fight for this.
Yeah.
Couple more BO5s, and I think Silent will be in trouble.
And that was the thing, it really did come down to just 1 or 2 mistakes on either side, and it could have swung back in the favor of March Marmots. It could have been Silent Gaming that were then the ones that are sitting in their chairs, not with their face just distraught. But it is Silent Gaming that have managed to come out on top, and what a manner to do so.
Absolutely, they won 3 out of 4 maps that were played here. With a 1-map advantage for March Marmots, I mean, it was effectively irrelevant because that first point was so dominant. The very first map of Gibraltar was so dominant for Silent Gaming that it basically just reset it to a 1-1. It made it a best of 3, and this time, although it was close, not able to come out on top. That's going to be the end of the Overwatch action, Robin. I got to say, I'm sad. That was exciting. It was fun. But we've got to call it a day for that. We'll be coming up with a couple more games. I believe it's going to be Fortnite next. Not 100% sure on that. And but before that, it's the end from us. But we're going to throw things over to Rito's waiting on the stage.
Welcome back, Faba. Könnt ihr ein bisschen Lärm machen für unsere beiden Overwatch-Teams in den Finals, bitte schön. Also für die Leute, die unter euch, die ab und zu mal Overwatch schauen, ich glaube, ihr wisst, dass es nicht so oft so ein knappes Final gibt, wenn es gegen Silent Gaming geht. Von dem her, was für eine Show. Danke vielmals an beide Teams. Jetzt würde ich aber noch ganz schnell Silent Gaming auf die Bühne bitten. Bitte schön. Es gibt noch etwas für euch. Jungs, auch noch von meiner Seite herzliche Gratulation, danke vielmals für die Show. Es war recht spannend. Ich mag mich nicht erinnern, wenn ich letztes Mal so ein knappes Final mit euch gesehen habe. Haben das sicher extra gemacht, oder?
Definitiv. Nein, sie haben wirklich gut gespielt und es war mega knapp, also wirklich well played zu dem.
Ich glaube ja, wenn jetzt auf der letzten Map hätte jetzt auf beide Seiten gehen. Ihr habt zwar gegen den Schluss noch mal ein bisschen aufgeschraubt, aber hast du mit so einem, ich sage jetzt mal, resistenten March Marmots gerechnet?
Ich habe schon gedacht, dass sie stark spielen, aber sie haben meiner Meinung nach sehr gut gespielt, also viel stärker als wir gedacht haben. Und wir sind jetzt glaube ich alle glücklich, dass wir es noch heimnehmen in der 5. Map. Und, ja.
Irgendjemand aus deinem Team, den du heute besonders möchtest loben? Oder ist die Standardantwort «Nein, nein, es haben alle gut gespielt und alles war super gewesen, jeder ist MVP»?
Es haben sicher alle gut gespielt, aber ich gebe jetzt mal den Titel im Thank You.
Thank you. Ja, der Hanso war ziemlich lit gewesen. Gut, ja, dann danke vielmals. Ich weiß, ich frage das jedes Mal, aber was dürfen wir in Zukunft von Silent erwarten? Eben, es ist jetzt irgendwie schon das 5. Final, das ich euch gesehen habe. Geht es in Zukunft so weiter oder ist es wieder so, ja, wir schauen mal und dann vielleicht...
Also mit dem Roster geht es sicher so weiter, aber wir werden jetzt sicher noch andere Comps trainieren, damit wir da auch ein paar Heroes auspacken können, die nicht so populär sind, sage ich mal.
Super, vielen, vielen Dank. Jetzt gibt es natürlich noch Preise für euch. Einen Moment, ja. So, du darfst das heben. Und dann gibt es noch eine Trophäe. Oh, sorry. Am Brüder. So, eure Swiss Gaming Challenge Overwatch Champions, Ladies and Gentlemen, eine Runde Applaus für Silent Gaming, bitteschön. Nochmal Congratulations, Jungs. Schön gespielt. Also immer noch der Team to beat. Vielen Dank, Jungs. Ihr dürft liefern. So, als nächster Punkt auf dem Programm mal ganz schnell eine Frage ans Publikum. Wer aus dem Publikum hat schon mal Fortnite gespielt? Schnell die Hand aufstrecken. Doch, also schon ein paar. Gut, ihr wisst, wieso ihr da sind. Als nächstes werden wir die Fortnite Invitationals haben. Wir werden ein paar der besten Spieler aus der Schweiz und ein paar der bekanntesten Streamer auf der Stage haben. Wir haben aber auf der anderen Seite noch 5 freie Stations, das heisst, dort dürft ihr aus dem Publikum anhocken, ihr dürft die Spieler zu einem 1 gegen 1 herausfordern und ich sage jetzt mal unter den besten 3 herausfordern, also falls jemand gewinnen sollte, verlosen wir noch ein kleines Goodie, da dürft ihr auch drauf freuen. Ich würde jetzt mal sagen, wir lassen zuerst mal die Spieler und die Streamer Platz nehmen und dann dürft ihr die Hand aufstrecken, wir werden euch auf die Bühne holen, meistens ist es Best of 5, ihr habt ein bisschen Zeit. Wenn eure Zeit um ist, sind bitte so gut und gebt den PC jemand anderem frei, weil ihr seid nicht die Einzigen, die gerne gegen die spielen würden. Das wäre sehr nett. Vielen, vielen Dank. Bleibt also das, geht weiter mit dem Fortnite Invitational und ich wünsche euch ganz viel Spaß.
wanna see the light. See the light. I wanna 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 see the I wanna see the light. 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 I wanna see the I wanna see the light. I wanna see the light. I wanna see the light. I wanna see the I wanna see the light. I wanna see the light.
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay. I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk. I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways. I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I knew not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, stand on they killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. Minds ain't really not game. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a goddamn mess. Hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Calm down, make new thoughts. Like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do not can make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yours, God. Steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. I'm full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see something coming out of that rain.